The night sky over the Nevada desert was calm until it wasn't. At exactly 2:03 a.m., something tore through the silence like a screaming knife. A burning object shot across the stars and crashed deep into the wastelands, shaking the earth and lighting the dark sands in orange fire. At the local military base, alarms screamed and red lights blinked. Everyone rushed out, but only one man was already running toward the smoke. Liam Carter, a young human scientist who always believed we were not alone. The crash site was still burning when Liam arrived. Metal was twisted, and black smoke rose. Like ghosts, the air smelled like ash and something alien. Soldiers stood back, unsure whether to enter. "Wait for backup," their captain ordered. But Liam didn't listen. Something was calling him from the wreckage. Inside the cracked ship, the lights flickered weakly. Strange symbols glowed on the walls, foreign, beautiful, and sad. Liam stepped over broken wires and burned panels. Then he saw her. She was small, fragile, with glowing silver eyes and skin like soft blue glass. Her body was shaking. She was alive but barely, and where her legs should have been, there was nothing. Just torn fabric, black blood, and broken metal. A deep wound ran across her side, and her breathing was shallow. She looked up at Liam with wide, scared eyes. She didn't speak, but her gaze screamed louder than words. "Help me," Liam called for a med team, but the captain hesitated. "That's an alien. It could be dangerous. She's hurt." Liam shouted, "She's a child. She's not our child," the captain muttered. "Let her die." Liam ignored him. He wrapped the alien girl in a thermal blanket and gently carried her out of the wreck. Her skin was cold like ice, but her pulse was still there, weak, but alive. The soldiers stared in silence. No one stopped him. Back at the base lab, Liam worked for hours. He used translation software to understand her, but the girl didn't speak. She just stared, eyes full of fear and confusion. Liam gave her a name, Ala. She didn't protest. Maybe she liked it. Or maybe she had forgotten her real one. Ayla's condition was worse than he thought. Not only were her legs gone, but her spinal system was damaged. It was clear she wouldn't survive without help. Liam built her a simple floating chair using lab tech and scraps from her ship. It hovered gently, allowing her to move again. When she saw it, Ala touched it carefully, then gave a small nod. Was it gratitude? Days passed. Ayla didn't speak, but she started drawing on the walls of her room strange maps. Stars, symbols, and a black circle with red eyes. Liam noticed that every night she drew the same dark figure, standing behind Earth. Was it a warning? Then, something strange happened. One evening, the symbols on her broken suit began to glow softly. Liam scanned the material. It wasn't just fabric, it was alive, some kind of biotech armor. As it pulsed with light, Ala screamed not in fear, but in pain, as if her memories were returning. Piece by piece, she began having nightmares. She would wake up shaking, eyes wide, whispering words in a broken alien tongue. Liam recorded everything, trying to translate it. One word kept coming up again and again. Key, key, key. Key, key. What did it mean? Was she a key to something? Meanwhile, trouble was building. Word had spread through the government. A living alien girl with unknown powers was being kept in a base lab by a junior scientist. Secret agents arrived wearing black suits and fake smiles. They told Liam they were taking Ayla to a high-security research lab. "She needs better care," they said. But Liam could see the truth in their eyes. They weren't here to help her, they were here to control her. When the agents entered her room, Ayla backed away. For the first time, she showed emotion terror. She reached out and grabbed Liam's hand tightly. Her grip was stronger than expected. She shook her head slowly. She didn't trust them. She trusted only him. Liam stood between them. She's not going anywhere until I understand who she is and what she's been through. The lead agent smiled coldly. You don't understand, Mr. Carter. You're not in control here. But Liam had already made his decision. That night, as the base fell quiet, Liam prepared for something big. He copied her ship's remaining files, packed emergency supplies, and programmed her hover chair for outdoor movement. He didn't know what was coming, but his gut told him they were running out of time. And then just before midnight's alarm went off. Not a human alarm. Not from Earth. It came from Alice's chair. A silent signal, blinking red. Something, or someone, had found her. The real danger was not from Earth. It was coming from the stars. And it had just arrived. The siren wouldn't stop. It wasn't loud, but it was steady like a heartbeat from another world. Liam stared at the blinking light on Ayla's hover chair. He knew this was not an Earth-made signal. Someone or something was trying to connect to her. Maybe it was her people. Maybe it was something worse. He turned to Ayla. She was shaking, eyes wide, staring at the red light like it was death itself. Her lips moved, trying to speak, but no words came. Just one soft sound escaped her mouth. No. It was the first time Liam had heard her voice. Before he could ask her anything, the signal stopped. The red light faded. Silence returned. But it wasn't peaceful. It was the kind of silence that warned of a coming storm. The next morning, the agents were still at the base. They demanded answers. Liam lied. He said the signal was just a glitch. They didn't believe him, but they had no proof. For now, they let it go. Ayla wouldn't speak again. She spent the day in her room, staring out the small window, her fingers tracing invisible stars in the air. Liam brought her food, water, and tools to draw with. She didn't eat much, but she did draw. More maps, more symbols. More of the dark. Figure with glowing red eyes. That night, Liam sat beside her. He spoke softly, telling her about Earth, about music, oceans, trees, and books. She listened. She didn't look at him, but he could tell she was listening. After a while, she picked up her pen and drew something new. It was a boy, a human boy. With messy hair and kind eyes, it was Liam. He looked at the picture, then at her. That's me. Ayla nodded once, slowly. Then she pointed to herself and drew a small star. Next to her heart, it wasn't just art. It was a message. She trusted him. Over the next few days, Liam and Ayla grew closer. They didn't need many words. He showed her how to use simple Earth tech, and she showed him strange alien signs. She began to repeat Earth words after him slowly, but surely. Sky, light. Friend? Her voice was soft, broken, but full of emotion. Liam upgraded her hover chair, adding a shield and a soft voice translator. When he tested it, her words came out in a robotic but clear voice. Thank you, she said. Liam smiled. Welcome, Ayla. But peace didn't last. One evening, the power at the base flickered. For just a second, the lights went out. When they came back, half the computers had been wiped. The files Liam had copied from Ayla's ship were gone. Erased clean. Even a trace. Only one person or thing could have done that. Someone. From her side, Liam checked the room's cameras. But 1 minute of footage was missing, completely blacked out. He rushed to Ayla's room. She was still there, unharmed, but trembling. On her wall, she had drawn something new. A triangle with an eye in the middle, wrapped in chains. What is that? He asked. Ayla looked at him and whispered. Hunters, she told him, slowly, in broken words and drawings, that her people were not all peaceful. There was a group called the Collectors, a secret force that searched for powerful beings across galaxies. They erased planets, stole tech, and took anything or anyone useful. Ayla was made to be a key, a living code to unlock something ancient, something hidden on Earth. She had escaped them. But now, they had found her again. They will come, she said. Liam knew then this wasn't about helping an alien girl. This was bigger. Earth was just the next stop on someone's dark list, and Ayla. She wasn't just a survivor. She was the reason. They were coming. That night, Liam had a choice. Hand Ayla over to the government and let her be locked away, or help her escape and protect her from the hunters chasing her. He chose her. Together, they left the base under the cover of night. Liam used back doors in the security system and flew a small rover into the desert, with Ayla hidden under a cloak. She held his hand tightly the whole ride, saying nothing, but her eyes full of trust. As they reached the edge of the desert, the sky lit up again. A flash. It's a sound like thunder. Something had entered Earth's atmosphere. Ayla looked up and whispered. One word. Void. From the stars, something had come. Not to save her, but to erase her. The desert was quiet again, but not peaceful. Liam and Ayla stood beside the small rover, staring at the night sky. Something had just entered Earth's atmosphere. A glowing trail was still burning across the stars. It wasn't a comet. It wasn't a satellite. It was something alive. And it was coming straight for them. Ayla gripped Liam's hand. Her skin was cold, and her silver eyes were wide with fear. Void, she repeated, her voice shaking. Liam didn't know exactly what the word meant, but the way she said it chilled. His bones? He drove them farther into the desert, deeper than any human base had ever reached. After hours of silence, they found an old science outpost, abandoned years ago. Dust covered the walls, and the power was weak, but it was hidden. For now, it was safe. Inside, Liam began setting up a new lab. He had to find out the truth, who Ayla really was, why the hunters were after her, and what the word key meant. Ayla sat quietly as he worked. She watched every move, her eyes scanning the room like she was waiting for something terrible to happen. Finally, Liam connected her hover chair to a memory scanner. This might help us understand what you've seen, he said. Gently, Ayla hesitated but nodded. She was ready as the machine powered on. Images flashed across the screen. Liam saw stars, planets, explosions, and then a peaceful alien city full of light and floating towers. It was beautiful. Its children with blue skin laughed and played. Ayla was among them. She looked happy, but the peace didn't last. Suddenly, the sky turned black. Strange shapes appeared, giant machines, dark and sharp, with red lights glowing like evil eyes. They fell from the sky and destroyed everything. Towers collapsed. Fires spread. People screamed. And then came a massive shadow, tall, faceless, with two red eyes burning like suns. Ayla's voice cracked. They came for the core. They came for me. Liam watched as Ayla, in the memory, was taken by a group of armored aliens. She was placed inside a strange machine. Her legs were removed, not by accident, but by design. The machine fused wires into her spine and connected her to a glowing cube. She screamed, but no one stopped it. Liam's heart sank. You weren't injured, you were changed. Ayla nodded, tears in her eyes. The memory showed her escaping during an attack. A different Aliana rebel helped her flee. He whispered one sentence before he died. Find the humans. They are the last chance. The screen went dark. Liam stepped back. This isn't just a war. It's something much bigger. Ayla wiped her tears. They erased truth, gave me false memory. I remember 2 lives. She explained slowly that her mind had been split. Some memories were hers, real, painful. Others were planted. She had been programmed to forget the location of something, called the core. It was a source of great energy, hidden on Earth long ago. Ayla was the only one who could unlock it. That made her valuable and dangerous. Suddenly, a loud noise shook the building. Dust fell from the ceiling. Lights flickered. Liam ran to the window. A dark ship was landing nearby. It had no markings. Just black metal and glowing red engines. It didn't make a sound. It hovered for a moment, then silently touched down in the sand. "They found us," Ayla whispered. Liam grabbed a backpack and loaded it with data drives. "We need to go. Now." Ayla floated beside him, panic in her voice. "No run. They smell energy." Mine footsteps echoed outside. Heavy, sharp. Not boots, dash claws. Liam opened a secret hatch under the floor. "Hide in here. I'll distract." Then Ayla shook her head. "No, we go together." But it was too late. The door exploded inward. Smoke filled the room, and a tall creature stepped through. It was not like anything Liam had ever seen. Its body was wrapped in black armor, its face covered by a smooth mask with red lights where eyes should be. It held no weapons, but its hands sparked with dark energy. It looked at Ayla. "You are property of the void," it said in a deep, cold voice. "Return now." Ayla's hoverchair began to spark. It was reacting to the creature. She screamed, holding her head. The light on her suit glowed bright blue. Liam stepped in front of her. "She's not your property," he shouted. The creature raised its hand. Liam felt a wave of pressure slam into him. He flew back against the wall, gasping. Ayla's eyes suddenly changed. The fear turned into something else. A fire lit inside them. "No," she said firmly. Blue light burst from her body, pushing the creature backward. It screeched in pain and vanished into thin air, teleporting away. Silence returned. Ayla fell to the ground, weak but alive. Liam crawled to her side. "What was that?" She looked at him, breathing hard. "They cannot kill me, but they can control me until I remember." All Liam helped her up. "Then, let's find the truth. Let's break what they did to you." She nodded, and far above them, in the sky, another red light blinked. The void wasn't done yet. The stars were quiet, but Ayla knew better. Silence didn't mean safety. It meant the hunters were moving closer, smarter. Deadlier. Liam stared at the place where the masked creature had disappeared. The wall was scorched. The floor cracked. That thing wasn't just strawnette, was made of some dark force, like living shadow. If Ayla hadn't pushed it back, they both might be dead. He looked at her. She was sitting in the corner of the lab. Her body weak, her breathing slow. Her suit still glowed softly, but it was flickering now, like a dying signal. She had used too much energy. And she was fading fast. "We need to move," Liam said. "They'll be back with more." Ayla didn't argue. She knew they weren't safe anymore. The void had found them once, they would find them again. Liam packed what little he could: a solar battery, food packs, a handheld scanner, and the remaining memory drives. Ayla's hoverchair was still working, but the system was overheating. It needed time to cool. Time they didn't have. "Where do we go?" Liam asked. Ayla closed her eyes and pointed to the map she had drawn earlier. A mountain range far north. In the middle, marked by a single star, was something ancient. "Beacon," she said. "It can call for help or destroy them." Liam nodded. He didn't understand everything, but he trusted her. She hadn't lied. Every strange thing she said turned out to be real. If this beacon could stop the void, they had to find it. They left the ruined lab before sunrise, using an old rover Liam found hidden beneath a tarp. The desert stretched out before them like an ocean of heat and silence. As they drove, Allah told Liam more of her story, this time with more words, more memories. "I was made by my people, not born," she said softly. "They use star metal, memory crystals, and code from the ancients." Liam glanced at her. "Oh, you're a machine?" She shook her head. "I'm alive, but built like a bridge between stars and time." She explained that her creators wanted peace. But when war came, they tried something dangerous. They made living beings that could hold powerful knowledge keys to forgotten tech. Allah was one of them, a living vault. But the Void, a faction, born from her own people, believed power should not be hidden. They wanted control. They wanted her. "You escaped," Liam said. "I was helped," she replied, "by a human long ago." Liam frowned. "A human? But your ship crashed just a few weeks ago." Allah nodded slowly. "Time is not straight in space. I've been traveling longer." This confused Liam, but before he could ask more, the scanner in the rover beeped. Something was following them. He checked the screen. A small black dot, moving fast, no sound. No signal, but closing the distance quickly. "Hold on," Liam said. He hit the gas. The rover jumped across the sand, kicking up dust. But it wasn't fast enough. Behind them, a black ship appeared, hovering just above the ground. It looked like a blade, silent and deadly. From it dropped two dark figures, tall, masked, and wrapped in flowing armor. Their red eyes locked onto the rover. "They're here," Isla whispered. Liam swerved left, heading toward a rocky canyon. The only chance was to lose them in the cliffs. Energy blasts slammed into the ground behind them, throwing fire and sand into the air. One blast hit the rover's side. The engine sparked. Liam turned sharply into the canyon. The passage was narrow, with tall stone walls on both sides. The black ship couldn't follow, but the hunters could. Ayla looked back. There. Not stopping. Liam handed her a small energy weapon from the back seat. "Can you shoot?" She looked at it, confused. "I don't know how." Liam drove faster. "You're going to learn now." Suddenly, one of the hunters landed on the roof of the rover. The metal creaked. Its red eyes glowed through the windshield. Liam slammed the brakes. The hunter flew forward off the front, rolling in the dust. Ayla pointed the weapon. Her hands shook. The hunter stood up, his body undamaged. "Now, Ayla," Liam shouted. She closed her eyes and fired. A burst of blue energy shot from the weapon, slamming into the hunter's chest. For a second, he stopped, his mask cracked hand. Then he exploded into a mist of ash and fire. Liam blinked. "You just vaporized him." Allah dropped the weapon, breathing hard. "I don't want to kill, but I will." The second hunter was gone. Maybe hiding, maybe retreating. They didn't wait to find out. By nightfall, they reached the mountain path. Liam set up a small camp. Ayla sat near the fire, staring at the stars. "They won't stop," she said. "I carry the code. They need it to open the core." "What happens if they open it?" Liam asked. Ayla looked at him, her voice almost a whisper. "Then the stars will burn, one by one." Liam sat beside her, watching the flames. The hunt had begun, and Earth was now a battlefield, whether it knew it or not. The wind howled through the mountains as Liam and Isla began their slow climb toward the hidden beacon. The desert was far behind them now, replaced by cliffs, forests, and silence. Each step forward felt heavier than the last, not just because of the rocky path, but because of what they were walking toward. Ayla sat quietly in her hover chair, cloaked in a thick blanket to block the cold. Her skin had grown pale. The energy readings on her suit were unstable. She was breaking down, little by little. And yet, her eyes were focused. She knew where they were going. And she would not stop. Liam pushed forward through snow and stone, watching her closely. "Are you sure the beacon is here?" She nodded slowly. "It calls to me. I feel it, like a song." Far away, 4 hours, they hiked through a narrow valley. Strange rock formations lined the cliffs. Carvings and alien symbols glowed faintly. In the dark, Liam stopped to study them. "These aren't natural," he whispered. "They've been here a long time." Ayla touched the markings. They lit up brighter, reacting to her presence. Old gatekeepers, from before memory. She explained that long ago, the ancients came to Earth not to conquer, but to hide something. The core, a source of pure energy, capable of creating or destroying galaxies. To protect it, they built beacons, hidden in places where time moved differently. Only a living key like Allah could reach them. As night fell, they found a small cave to rest in. Liam lit a fire, while Allah looked up at the stars. "I used to fly between them," she said softly. "Now I hide beneath them." Liam sat beside her. "You're not hiding, you're surviving." She turned to him. "Do you believe in fate, Liam?" He hesitated. "I believe in choices, and you keep choosing to live, no matter what." She gave a small, tired smile. "Then maybe that's enough." The next morning, the ground changed. The rocks beneath their feet were smooth, shaped like metal. A staircase led down into the earth, carved perfectly into the mountain. As they descended, a low hum filled the air. Lights flickered to life. Along the walls, they had found it at the bottom of the stairs, stood a giant door tall, curved and covered in glowing lines. In the center was a hand-shaped panel. Ayla floated forward. Her hand shook as she raised it. Liam grabbed her wrist. "Are you sure this is safe?" She looked at him. "Nothing is safe anymore." She placed her hand on the panel. The door opened. Inside was a massive chamber glowing with soft blue light. Floating crystals hung in the air, spinning slowly. At the center stood the beacon, a tall, thin tower of silver, humming with quiet energy. It looked peaceful. But Liam felt its power in his bones. As Ayla entered, the crystals responded to her. Her body began to glow, her hoverchair lifting higher. The beacon lit up, scanning her with beams of light. Suddenly, a voice echoed in the chamber, not in words, but in thoughts. Key recognized. Access granted. 1 life required to awaken beacon. Liam stepped back. 1 life. What does that mean? Looked at him, sadness in her eyes. The beacon needs a sacrifice. To break the seal. No, Liam said firmly. There must be another way. She shook her head. I was made for this. This is why I was born or built. Liam moved closer. You don't have to die. We'll find another way to stop them. But before she could answer, a dark sound echoed through the chamber, sharp, cracking noise like bones breaking in. Space, the void had found them. Black mist poured through the open door. From it stepped a tall figure in dark armor, his red eyes glowing with rage. Behind him came others, more hunters, more shadows. The leader spoke. She belongs to us. Give her and your death will be painless. Ayla floated higher, her body surrounded by light. I am not yours. The leader laughed. You were made to serve. You cannot escape purpose. Liam stepped between them, holding the energy weapon. Then we'll make a new purpose. The room shook. The crystals around them began to spin faster. The beacon pulsed. Ayla's body rose higher, her energy mixing with the machine. I remember everything now, she whispered. I know what they did, and what I am. The hunters moved forward, but the beacon's light struck them. Some were turned to ash. Instantly, others screamed and vanished. But the leaders stood firm, resisting the light. "You can destroy us," he said, "but the cost is your soul." Isla looked down at Liam, eyes filled with light and tears. "Thank you for giving me something real, a reason." "No," Liam cried. "Allah, don't." But the beacon exploded in light. A wave of energy filled the chamber. The mountain roared. Outside, birds fled from trees as the sky lit up blue. And then, silence. Liam opened his eyes. The hunters were gone. The beacon was silent, and Isla was floating slowly down, her body limp but glowing. Her hover chair was gone. He caught her gently. She opened her eyes. Her voice was soft. "I didn't die. I became more." Legs were glowing, now forming, growing. Not metal, not machine. Real. Liam stared in awe. "You're healing." She stood. For the first time, Ayla stood on her own, but in the stars above. The darkness was not done. The mountain was quiet again, but it was not the same mountain they had climbed. After the beacon activated, the air felt different, thicker, warmer, alive. Everything around Liam and Ayla had changed. The ancient stones now glowed with soft, blue light. The wind carried a faint hum, like a song from another time. Nature itself seemed to bow to the power that had been awakened. Liam looked at Ayla, still holding her gently in his arms. Her skin shimmered with light. The energy that once flickered inside her now burned steady. Her legs, once missing, had fully formed, not as metal or machine, but as flesh, glowing with living energy. She opened her eyes, took a slow breath, and stood on her own. He took a step back, stunned. "You're standing." Ayla looked at her hands, then her feet, and nodded slowly. "The beacon repaired me. Or maybe it revealed who I truly am." She walked step by step toward the center of the chamber. She moved slowly at first, then stronger with every step. The beacon no longer glowed, but the energy it gave her was still flowing through her body like light in a river. She wasn't just healed, she was transformed. Liam watched her in silence. "Are you still Isla?" She turned to him. Her eyes were the same soft, silver, full of emotion. "I am. More. But I'm still me." Outside the chamber, the sky began to shift. Thick clouds moved unnaturally fast, gathering into a storm. The sun faded, replaced by darkness. A cold wind howled through the trees. The void was not done. "They felt it," Isla said. "The beacon's power. They're coming. All of them." Liam reached for his scanner. The screen blinked red. Multiple energy signatures. Hundreds. Maybe more. Allah walked to him and touched the device. It immediately powered down. "They'll block your tech. But they can't block me now." Liam stared at her. "You said the core what they're after is hidden on Earth, can they?" "Still find it," she nodded. "They will try. But I carry the code. I carry the final piece." "You mean you're the weapon?" She looked away. "Not a weapon, a choice. I can unlock the core or destroy it forever." Liam stepped closer. "Then let's destroy it." But Allah didn't answer. Her face was tense, thoughtful. "If we destroy it, we end the war. But we lose something too. A power that could heal planets, end hunger, give light to 1,000 worlds. My people built it for peace. The void wants it for control. Do you think humans could use it the right way?" Liam asked. She didn't. Answer immediately. "I don't know. That's why they buried it." Suddenly, a loud boom echoed across the mountains. The ground shook. A dark ship appeared above the clouds, massive, sharp-edged, surrounded by red lightning. It was a fortress in the sky. Ayla stared at it. "That's their command ship. The High One is here." "The one who created you?" Liam asked. "No, She said softly, "The one who destroyed everything I knew." Below the ship, pods began to fall, black orbs slamming into the ground. They burst open, releasing void soldiers. Tall, faceless, wrapped in armor that drank the light. Their numbers were endless. "We need to run," Liam said, grabbing her arm, but Isla didn't move. No more running. She stepped forward, eyes glowing. "They took my world. They won't take yours." She raised her arms. Light exploded from her hands, shooting into the sky like flares. The clouds parted. The ground cracked with energy. The void soldiers paused. For the first time, they looked unsure. And then came the voice. It echoed across the mountain, deep and cold. "You cannot stop fate, Isla. Return to us, or be unmade." Liam couldn't see where the voice came from, but Ayla could. She stared into the sky. "I have a new fate now," she whispered. "I choose it." Suddenly, the ground beneath them opened. A spiral platform rose from the earth. At the center was the Korra glowing sphere, pure white, beating like a heart. Liam stepped back. "That's it," Ala nodded. "It is life and death." Above, the void ship began to descend. "They're coming," Liam said. Ayla turned. To him, her voice was calm. "They don't fear war. They fear choice. I was made to follow, but now I decide." Her body began to glow brighter, her hair floating, her eyes blazing. "Get back," she said. Liam hesitated. "I'm not leaving you. I'm not ending," she said. "I'm becoming." She rose into the air, floating above the core. The energy wrapped around her. Her voice echoed with power. "You broke me. You hunted me. You called me a weapon. But I choose to be more." A wave of light burst from her body, striking the void ship above. Its engines exploded. The soldiers on the ground turned to dust. The storm clouds burned away. The darkness screamed, and then Silenceyl floated down, glowing like a star, and collapsed into Liam's arms. He held her close. "You did it." She opened her eyes, barely awake. "Not yet. One last choice remains." Liam frowned. "What choice? To keep the core, or to end it forever?" And as dawn broke over the mountains, the girl with no legs, who had once been nothing but fear and silence, held the power of galaxies in her hands. The mountain stood still, bathed in golden sunlight, as if the world itself was holding its breath. The storm was gone. The sky was clear. Birds had returned to the trees, and the ground no longer trembled. But deep within the mountain, a decision waited to be made. Liam sat beside Ayla at the edge of the core chamber. Her body still glowed faintly, but her strength was nearly gone. Her energy had lit up the stars, crushed the void army, and brought silence to a sky that had once screamed with war. And now, all that power rested within her, along with one final choice. The core pulsed before them. A perfect sphere, white, as light itself, floating quietly in the center of the room. It beat like a heart, as if it were alive. Ayla had become one with it. She could command it now. She could awaken it, or end it. Liam looked at her, his voice soft. "You don't have to decide alone." Ayla smiled weakly. "I'm not alone. Not anymore." He helped her stand. She was still glowing, but her steps were slower now. Her body, newly restored, was struggling to hold so much power. She walked toward the core, her fingers brushing against its surface. Visions flashed in her mind, stars being born, planets healing, cities lit by clean energy, and endless peace. But then came other visions, darker ones. The core in the wrong hands. Worlds burning. Whole civilizations falling to greed and power. "See to futures," she whispered. "One where the core saves, and one where it destroys. Liam stepped closer. Then we make sure it doesn't fall into the wrong hands. She turned to him. Even good people can be corrupted. Power changes everyone. He had no answer. He knew she was right. Humans were capable of great kindness, but also great cruelty. The core was not just a gift, it was a test. She looked at him with sadness in her eyes. I wanted to believe I was just a girl, that I could live a small, quiet life. But I'm more. I was made for this. Liam shook his head. You were made to be controlled, but you broke free. That means you're more than what they made. You're human in the way that matters. A single tear ran down her cheek. Then, I'll make a human choice. She raised her hand. The core glowed brighter. Ayla, wait, Liam said quickly. If you destroy it, what happens to you? She hesitated. I was created by the core. If it ends, so do I. Liam grabbed her hand. No, there has to be another way. She smiled. This is the way. I was born with no voice, no legs, no freedom. And now I have everything. I choose to give it back. He couldn't stop her. He knew she had already made up her mind. Ayla looked at the core one last time. This is not power. This is temptation. And then she placed both hands on it. A wave of light burst from the chamber, but it didn't burn. It was warm, peaceful, like a soft goodbye. The mountain shook slightly, but didn't break. The core cracked down the middle once, twice, and then dissolved into a mist of light. The light floated upward into the sky, spreading across the world like falling stars. When the glow faded, the core was gone, and so was EY. Liam stood there, alone, silent, the empty chamber echoing with stillness. He looked at the spot where she had stood just moments ago. There was nothing. No body, no light. Just the soft hum of a quiet world. That had been saved by a girl who never asked to be a hero. He walked out of the mountain. The sun was rising. The sky was painted in orange and pink. Birds flew overhead, and the trees swayed in the wind. It was peaceful again. Weeks passed. Governments investigated the energy surge, but found nothing. The void had vanished completely. Their ships were gone, their weapons erased. Humanity never fully knew how close it had come to the end. But Liam knew, and he remembered. He returned to the same place every day, the mountain clearing, hoping just once to see her again, to hear her voice, to know she had survived. But there was only wind and light. Until one evening, as the sun set behind the hills, a small blue flower bloomed from the soil near the edge of the cliff. It wasn't native. It wasn't Earth's. Liam knelt down, his heart racing. He touched. The petals, they glowed softly, and then, in the wind, he heard it. Not a voice, a feeling. I chose hope. The alien girl who had no legs, no home, no voice. She chose to protect a world that wasn't hers. And in doing so, she became something no one expected. Not a weapon, not a machine, but a symbol. The girl who chose humanity. Asterisk.